To the top. 100 carats from my chain to my watch. Look at me. Rims chopping when I'm riding down your block. Look at me. Self-made and it ain't gonna stop.
Our guest today, who knows all about fashion and good looking, and this lady too is a international renowned model, you know, and she's been seen everywhere. And she's actually is one of the originators of the first model boot camp here in the Minnesota area. And if I'm not mistaken, she's taken it other places in Chicago and New York and just kind of all over the world. So maybe she can help me with my hair. If it might be a little too late, but nevertheless, please help me to the stage. Welcome, Msdonisha. All right, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Right. I'm doing great. Thank you.
Yes.
Stan, you sit, does it matter?
It really doesn't. I mean,
Okay.
it would be nice, but
Okay.
either way, it doesn't, you know.
Well, I want to make you comfortable, so.
I'm comfortable either
Cool.
way.
Because I like standing, because I just like to move around.
It works for me.
You know, moving.
All
So
right.
tell us, you back in Minnesota?
Yes,
Yes.
I am.
What's going on? What brought you back this time?
Well, what brought me back this time is actually Farnsworth Aerospace 5K. Or 5.8 actually. I guess it used to be, you know, elementary school, but now I'm there, a middle school, and I'm working with the youth over there, aspiring
nice.
models. They're doing Farnsworth Next Top Models, so
Wow.
it's an after-school program.
Okay.
So they brought me in on a grant, so I'm extremely excited because that's where I really want my program to go.
Yes.
The official Msdonisha Modeling Bootcamp Be the Star That You Are program. It's
Okay.
really about helping young girls and men, you know, I do both male and female, aspiring models in the community. So that's what brought me back originally.
Wow. And then is that is that a starting point and an end point? When does it begin for you?
It has already begun.
Oh, it has?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm there every Tuesday and Thursday.
Okay.
In the evening after school program, and
Okay.
I will be there until mid-March.
Right.
And then we'll start the program back up again in April.
Right.
Yes.
So this is fantastic because, you know, there's still some voids out there in our school.
Absolutely.
And I know that with all the cuts, and you've been hearing all this, you know, all over. Everybody's cutting. The president's cutting. You know, our newly elect governor is cutting, you know, raising taxes. And who gets it? You know, our school systems, you know, our teachers out there working diligently, literally in some schools are putting their lives on the line, and they're not even given the recognition. I want to say, teachers, here, this is for you guys, you know, for all the work you do.
Absolutely.
All right, all right.
Absolutely.
Yes, yes, and so you're coming into the schools to kind of help them in another area. Self-esteem, I imagine, has got to be.
Absolutely. Self-esteem is high on my list.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I asked the girls the other day, I said, okay, my slogan or my tagline is to be the star that you are. I said, what does that mean to you? And everyone answered it just how they felt. You know, from, oh, it's be whoever you are, be the best you can be. You know, don't worry about what other people say about you. Just continue to be who you are. I mean, it was just great answers coming from these young girls, you know.
Okay.
So I was very proud of them just thinking for themselves, you know,
Sure.
about what my slogan meant to them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So how many young people you have right now?
I have 2 classes each day, and they average between 4 and 8 students per day.
Okay.
Per Tuesday or Thursday. Yes.
Sure. And then what are the things that they're getting from the classes?
They're getting definitely the confidence. They're getting training on how to dress, how to present themselves, how to speak to others. I've had to, you know, become not just a professional teacher in the St. Paul school system, but as well as a parent. I have to remember that I'm a parent first.
Yeah.
So I've had to do a little bit of, you know, discipline, like, you know, don't speak out of turn, raise your hand, be polite. So I'm teaching them a lot of the etiquette that goes
Sure.
far in the world today, which a lot of young people need.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's one of the biggest things, is the etiquette, the confidence. Yes.
And I'm sure there might be an opportunity for them to actually showcase their modeling on the catwalk and
Yes,
those
there
things.
is.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
they also have a Farnsworth, Project Runway.
Okay.
So the girls are
Oh,
actually
that's
going to do
right.
a fashion show on March the 10th,
Wow.
which is going to bring in the young people from that class
Okay.
and the models from the Foreign Source Next Out model class, and they're going to
Okay.
come together and put on a fashion show.
Is it going to be here?
No, it's like, well, it's going to be here in Minneapolis, of course,
Okay.
but it's going to be at their school.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay,
So
great.
they will get to work it on the
Yeah.
catwalk, show their skills.
All right, all
Yes.
right. Well, this is, again, fantastic. I mean, you've done, since I've known you, over the last few years, have touched a lot of lives of young people and, not so young people that have taken your boot camp,
That's true. I've had them as young as 4, as mature as 55.
Yeah.
So you're right. But I do laugh at that because a lot of people don't know my age, and I'm very proud, to continue to be a working model, and I still get booked at least 10 years younger. So I'm constantly going on auditions and working with girls, that are younger than myself, and I tell them, if this is something you really want to do, you can do it for a lifetime. This industry, it has no end. When you look on television, when you look in the advertising, they have models of all types, and that's what I bring to the industry. I open the eyes to the individuals that have no idea. They think it's, oh, I need to go to New York, I need to go to Milan, I need to be, super thin, and based on nutrition, what we're talking about, you need to be healthy.
Right.
You need to be healthy to be in this business.
Right.
So, don't starve yourself, don't not eat and things like that, because that's very unhealthy. How are you going to be able to perform? How are you going to be able to, walk a catwalk in heels when you're dehydrated or when you have no energy? You know what I mean? So what you guys are doing, I think is awesome, fighting the obesity with youth, because I truly believe that nutrition comes first in this
Yeah.
industry.
Yeah.
You got to be healthy.
Yeah, and you touch on a couple of points, the dehydration and the things. I mean, I went to get tested as far as, my fat content, and it like threw me out because, I thought I was, and it's not. I got like 23 something way over the limit, so I got to start looking at what I'm consuming as well.
Yeah.
And then when we talk about the way people are cutting back and saving monies, and then of course their budgets and their food quality, gets affected as well. But nevertheless, with this program, we can show them some of the things that they can still look at,
Absolutely.
and eat. So.
Absolutely. And another thing I thought was really interesting about the school is that they give them snacks, and their snacks are healthy. They do the yogurt, they do the bananas, they do the carrot sticks, with the ranch. So they're feeding them healthy snacks. So they're really an advocate of the healthy eating at the school as well that I'm
Right.
working at. And so I'm very excited about that. And I have my snacks too. So I'm like, get out the way, teach us first.
You just pull a rank on them, huh?
I sure do.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
I thank you for definitely asking me to come on to the show, and I'm working with my old clients again. So that's been a really joy and a pleasure. So
Right.
everybody's been very welcoming, back in Minneapolis. It's almost makes me want to not go back home, but I have to.
Yeah.
In about a month and a half, I'll be heading back to Maryland,
Okay.
the DMV area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good. I really appreciate you taking the time. I mean, when Jordan told me that you're going to be in town, and he's like, well, maybe we should ask her if she's got time. I'm like, yeah, because, I've always admired you and the work that you did, and you've always, kept a high, respect for yourself, and it always showed in everything you did.
Thank you. Well,
So-
speaking of Jordan, he's really been a great supporter of my program. He flew his niece himself and his niece's mother, his aunt, out to Atlanta, where I did a boot camp. They came out and premiered with me in Atlanta. So my boot camp has become a nationwide tour.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, next stop is North Carolina.
Wow.
So I'm extremely excited about that. And then Tuskegee, Alabama.
Wow.
So
Great.
yeah.
Yeah, Jordan, is a great guy. I've met him a few years
Yes.
ago, and so now we're starting to work a little. But I didn't know he had that kind of money. Gee.
He put them all in. We went out. We had a great time. Where did we go? Like to Gladys Knight's Chicken? Yeah.
Oh,
we
my
had a
gosh.
ball
All
in
right,
Atlanta.
all right.
We had a ball. Yes. And it was
Fantastic.
all on Jordan.
Oh man, my man. We're
Yes.
gonna be real good friends, But so yeah, we have some really exciting things, and again, I really appreciate you taking the time out to
Thank
come.
you. Absolutely. It's been a pleasure.
Thank
and
you.
continue to, I love the business mission,
Yes.
Keep it moving.
All right.
All right.
I will.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Msdonisha. Thank you. Am I ready for the music? Okay. And so, Msdonisha, with all the work that you're doing with the kids in the schools, tell us, the boot camp. how did you get started? Why was that a factor for you?
Well, I originally started out in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Yes, Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I realized that there wasn't an industry there. So I moved to New York to pursue my dreams of becoming a model. And I opened a lot of doors that kept opening, but then they were closed. They were open, they were closed. And that was because I wasn't prepared. So when I really understood the industry in New York and how different it was from what I originally thought it was, I said, you know, how can I, now that I've worked in a lot of different markets, now that I feel like I'm successful, I've been doing it full time for 15 years, how can I help other aspiring models, especially models of color, because we don't understand, you know, how to relate to some of the images that we see out there that don't look like ourselves. So I started my modeling boot camp back in 2006, and it was my mission, okay, it was my business mission to open the eyes and the knowledge to the girls that are aspiring to be models that were of color. But not saying that I don't work with all ethnics, you know, and different groups and different races, because I do. But that's just my main focus. And what I found was that we didn't know how to market ourselves. You know, we were marketing ourselves very, very urban. You know, some of our portraits were, you know, I hate to say it, but they would get them at, you know, like Sears or Pro-X. I mean, but that's not building a professional portfolio. So when I shared my experiences and I said, this is what you need to market yourself as a professional model, then it started to open up the eyes, and they understood, oh, wow, this is why I'm not able to break into the industry, because I don't have the right tools. And so I started sharing and helping them develop the right tools, the right etiquette, the right poise, the right, you know, stamina, because you also have to, you know, keep it moving. You know, you have to be up on your trends, which is why I went natural, okay? A lot of you are used to me, you know, rocking my wigs and, you know, switching it up, and that's another thing. You have to have staying power, okay? And I teach that. How can you stay in the game? How can you be competitive, you know, at my age, you know, with the girls that are still in their 20s? So I teach them that because I want to see them be successful. I want them to have longevity. And that's really my main focus, was to open the doors to models that just didn't know, because I had a lot of doors open, but they were closed, open and closed. So I give them that staying power.
Well, with that, I mean, with some of the young women that might be watching the show, what would be some of the things that, you know, you could give them today to kind of help them prepare, you know, so if they wanted to go down that road?
Absolutely. One of the main things is you have to have a positive attitude. You know, a lot of girls, they have that nasty attitude, you know, they think because they're tall, they're thin, somebody done told them they were cute, you know, or you should be a model. They don't understand that when you walk into a room with directors, executives that own, you know, these different brands, how do you interact with them? You know, can you smile? Can you answer questions politely? You know, can you say thank you because they took the time to see you, you know? So that's one of the biggest things, is your attitude has to be positive, and you have to know how to smile, you know, and be very approachable. And then the other thing is, that as far as staying power, diversity. You have to have diversity. You can't have the same look. You can't have the same hairstyle. You have to be, you know, up on the trends. And right now the trend for women of color is natural. With the economy, we don't have time to be, you know, in a salon, you know, getting our hair done. It's time. Time is money, okay? And then you have to pay to get those services. So we need to be out, being able to go on auditions, being able to work, and not worrying about, oh, I got to get my hair done. I got to, you know. So the natural is the way to go. Clients are loving, you know, the women that's rocking the natural. So you have to be up on your trends too.
All right, you heard it. Rock the natural. You know, so this is Msdonisha. She's the first originator of the model boot camp, and you know, she's taking it all over the world. And you know, when you talked about, you know, the young women's attitude, I think that's very important, because when they grow older, they still have them. That's why guys like me don't get a chance, you know. But did it work? Nah. All right. All right. Well, listen, I want to thank you very much again for stopping in. So, ladies and gentlemen, Msdonisha.
Also, I want to do one more thing. If you are an aspiring model out there and you would like to get into the industry, please look me up. I can be found at www.msdenishia.com or facebook.com/Msdonisha.
And we're going to put it right here so you guys can have a chance to write it down as well, because we don't want you to miss out on that opportunity, okay?
And my next boot camp is March 19th and 20th right here in Minneapolis.
Okay,
so,
fantastic. Okay, thank
Thanks.
you. All right.